to being told by the afternoon that you have 3 months to live. It's quite a shocker, and it's a story that I'm sure you're thinking, I'm hearing that from someone else. Well, that's what I always thought in my life. I never dreamed I would tell that kind of story. I always thought I would hear that kind of story. Hi, my name's Earl Young, and I want to tell you about the two most defining times of my life. One of them was in Rome in 1960 when I ran on the U.S. Olympic track team. I was fourth in the 400, and we won the 4x400 relay, receiving a gold medal. I was the youngest gold medalist in track and field that year, and at age 19, we tied the Olympic record, set a new world record, and as you can imagine, it was a very defining time of my life. It's part of the reason I said it, I'm here talking to you today. I've taken that gold medal around the world with me. It's traveled to Africa, to Europe. It's been held by children at track meets. It's been held by presidents. It's been a life-changing event for me, as you can imagine. The second most life-changing event and a real definer of my life was September 16th, 2011, when a doctor told me I had 3 months to live. I went into the doctor's office early that morning to see my general practitioner because I had a little cough, a little cold. I thought I could have a shot, a pill, to cure that. He said, well, Earl, you haven't been in 4 years. He said, let me run some tests on you, and just so I'll have them on file. He wasn't looking for anything in particular. So they did a blood test and x-rays and all the things that go with a physical. And I was about to leave, and he was walking up the hall. He said, gee, I'm glad you haven't left. I need to talk to you. He said, something's wrong. And I kidded him and said, hey, yeah, your bedside manner is a little weak this morning. And he didn't laugh about that. We went in his office. I sat across from his desk, across from him. And he said, Earl, he said, you don't feel bad? I said, no, I really don't, Doc. Except for this little cough and this little sniffle, kind of a summer type event. And normally it's something that I would just wear off and not pay any attention to. Fortunately, I'd gone in to see him to cure that because he said to me across the table, he said, Earl, he said, your white factory's shut down. He said, you're low on whites and you're not making it. Again, I said, well, what do we do? He said, I want you to go right now across the street to Texas Oncology. I'm going to call over and tell them to expect you. And I want you to go over there and see what they say about this. I went over there, they looked at the report and said, yeah, this is not good. Now, as you can imagine, I felt good when I woke up that morning. This day is rapidly deteriorating for me. He said, Earl, we need to do a bone marrow biopsy. Fine. Go back and into the room and they do a bone marrow biopsy. I go back to the waiting area and wait on him to get the report. He comes out a little later and he said, Earl, I'm afraid I have some bad news. He said, you have acute myeloid leukemia. Now you can just imagine when you hear that type of report. Again, I didn't go in here feeling bad. I started the day to get a shot for a sniffle or a cough. And now I have an oncologist telling me I have AML. He said, do you know much about this? I said, I know leukemia is a terrifying word. He said, well, let me tell you. And he takes me through different types of leukemia, different types of blood cancer. And he said, now the AML, the acute myeloid leukemia that you have, is one of the most rapidly moving. And he said, not only do you have AML, you have what we discovered a few years ago called a FLT3, which I call a supercharger, which makes it move even faster. So, the next question, I was wise enough to know what the next question was. How long do I have? He said maybe 3 months. Wow, from a sniffle and a cough first thing in the morning to being told by the afternoon that you have 3 months to live. It's quite a shocker, and it's a story that I'm trying to make to you today. The most important is that doctor looking at me and saying, you know, you're 70, but you're not 70. And he said because of genes, but he also said more importantly, or at least as importantly, because I had taken care of myself. Remember that. Take care of yourself. Learn how to eat. Learn what to drink. Learn all things in moderation. Go through athletic activities periodically. You don't have to run 5Ks every weekend. Just keep your body fit. And it may be the difference in a doctor sitting across from you one day and saying, you got 3 months to live. Or a doctor saying, you know, because you've taken care of yourself, I think we can give you more life.